My husband cheated on me for a fifth time. Play a long game or leave him. My husband cheated on me a few weeks ago with his coworker. I'm hurt, devastated, etc. We have 3 kids together, and he has cheated several times in the past. This one is just a line in the sand for me since it was too personal. My spouse is trying to kiss my feet for me to not kick him out/leave. The other woman is allegedly Polly and knew my husband was married. She is also married to a man they both work with, and her husband doesn't know about the affair. So clearly, this was also unethical on her end. We entered marriage monogamously. My spouse claims that he has no emotional ties to her and that it was just a chance opportunity one night after they were released from work early. I only found out because my toddler was playing with my spouse's phone while he was sleeping and gave it to me with his Snapchat open. I don't go through phones because ignorance is bliss for me, and if things are going well, yeah, I know, a fantasy land. Again, this isn't the first time he has cheated on me. In fact, in the 5 relationships I've been in since I was 15, I was cheated on in every scenario. I tend to play a long, vindictive game because I'm a doormat mostly, but I have unabashedly ended marriages and careers when pushed too far. It's like a defense mechanism. I used to have violent and emotional outbursts, but since getting therapy, I've learned to focus on control and thought. But my thoughts get really, really dark, and I have a lot of patience. I have even admittedly gotten someone discharged from basic training just because I didn't like their attitude towards me. I plan to let him grovel, avoid interaction with him, and keep it friendly in front of our children. But I'm also gonna either tell the other woman's husband or if other people. I worked in healthcare and had to become a SAHM in November due to daycare costs and illness. I plan on going back to work as soon as possible, much to the dismay of my spouse. We had originally agreed that I should stay at home with the kids, and now my spouse is worried about me going back to work, citing the good for the children. But my children are involved, and I refuse for them to see mine and his faults at such young ages. It's also not fair for them to see their father cheat on their mother at every turn, and mom be miserable as a result. Do I tell the other woman's husband? Do I make things as messy as possible? I've hung it over my husband's head, saying that if he doesn't tell him that I will and it won't be pretty. Or just divorce and move on. Background of my relationship. Me with my husband married for 7 years in July. We have kids together. Not married, but one day we planned on it. He came to me last night and told me he had downloaded a dating app last week and had been talking to some women. He said he did it because he wanted to see if he still had it. He'd have been texting 2 women, so he had enough conversation with them to give him his number and was texting them probably in the same room as me sometimes. He'd only told me because one of them found out his real name. He was using a fake and called him out on it because she found his Facebook, which is covered in pics of us and our kids. So he only told me because he got caught. He swears it's only been a week that he was doing it. Swears he never intended on meeting up. The girl messaged me, which I would have seen before he told me if I check Facebook often, but I don't. She sent me screenshots of all of their text conversations from when they first got numbers, since they had been talking some before that on the app, and all the way to when she busted him and him apologizing and everything and her going off on him for all of it. When he told me, he asked me what I wanted him to do or if I wanted to see the app. And out of pure anger and sadness, I told him immediately to delete the app. Well, now that he deleted the app, all of the messages are gone on her end too. I don't think I want to read any more anyway, because the text made me feel sick. But part of me wanted to know everything he was saying to other women. We have been less intimate lately, but we have talked about it, and he knows I try, but we have just been busy. I have twin toddlers and an older son, and he works long hours. So I'm tired or he's asleep by the time I settle down for the night. But when he straight up comes to me in bed and says he wishes we could have official soon, I literally say, okay, let's do it now, and we do. Because I want to as well, and obviously we need to take every opportunity. Sure, I've turned him down sometimes, but he's turned me down sometimes as well. So anyway, I'm a lonely stay-at-home mom who became a full-time mom to his son, whose mom is not around when he was barely 4. He's 9 now. Then we had twins together who are now 3. This man is my best friend. I straight up moved to his town where all of his family lies, and he has lived his whole life, to be with him and his son. Closest family I have is an hour away, everyone else is even further. I have no friends here besides his friends, but no actual friends. I'm alone. I do everything for him and our kids. We have a special needs daughter as well, and I go to therapy for her 3 times a week and deal with a lot just with her on my own. Plus 2 other kids. I'm lonely, but I've never thought about doing what he did. I love our family and would never want to ruin us. He says he knows he needs to work on himself. He says it was a mistake and he loves me and I'm his soulmate. He said a lot of things. But when I asked him what would have happened if he didn't get caught, how long would he have let it go on? He says he doesn't know. I asked if he ever thought about actually meeting up with anyone. He swears he never wanted to do that it was all mental/emotional. It was all just fun and exciting apparently, which that obviously hurts so damn much. But in the text I read, they both talked about possibly meeting up and flirting about it and stuff like that. He says he just said everything on there to keep the conversation going. The texts were not totally inappropriate, but not innocent either. A lot of things he said to her seriously instantly broke my heart and made me want to throw up. I feel numb. He's just walking around the house pouting. I feel sick. I can't even look at him when I have to talk to him about something about the kids. He keeps trying to have normal conversations with me about random stuff and I just can't look him in the face or keep up with what he's wanting to talk about. I want him to feel bad. I want him to regret it to the deepest part of himself. I want to punch him in a lot of places and then call my dad and tell him so he can come here and do whatever he feels is necessary. I want to call his sisters and tell them. I want to do a lot of things. But mostly I just want it to be a nightmare and wake up to find out none of this is real. I don't know what to do or what to believe from him. What's worse, my ex did this exact same thing to me. And he knows that. My ex was messaging other girls, flirting with them, and one of them found out about me on Facebook and messaged me. Again, I am not huge on Facebook and never saw the message from her till after he told me. But if I checked it every day, then I would have found out from her first, exactly same way as what's happening now. That man ended up dumping me and dating my little sister a year later, who had lived with us when we broke up. So you can see how this just cuts even deeper than it normally might, even though I know it's pretty deep regardless. I keep looking in the mirror and telling myself how unattractive I am. What's crazy about that is I've lost about 60 pounds in the last year. I had gained a lot when I had the twins and gained more after. But I have been feeling so good about myself lately with the weight loss. I get compliments all the time about it with people I know. I actually thought I was pretty. Now I hate how I look. Now my self-confidence has disappeared, which took me a long time to get back in the first place. So with everything, he broke that in me as well. I know this is a long post. If you made it this far, then thank you. I literally have no one else to talk to. I am afraid to talk to my sisters or parents, BCAUSE. They will lose their minds on him. So I came here and made a brand new Reddit account to post this and get some people to talk to me. Have you been through something similar to this? If so, how did you handle it? Did you stay together? Did anything else happen down the road if you did? Just any advice or shared sympathy or similar stories would be helpful.